There are a couple ways that you could track a project for a biotech device in Dynamics GP. Probably the simplest way to do that is to use the GL itself, and it's quite easy to do. Really, all you need to do is go to the chart of accounts, and you need to add a segment that represents the particular project or projects that you have that you want to track expenses for, and revenue if you have revenue. So it's really easy to do. Here's the chart of accounts. I added the third segment. In my system, I just have 3 segments. You can actually have up to 10 if you want to. But I chose the third segment to represent a particular project. And I'll show you how I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it a couple of ways. I'm going to use it for transaction entry. I'm going to use that account and that particular segment to represent a particular project. And then I'm going to turn around and show you a number of different reports that we can generate from that information. So let's take a look at the payables transaction entry screen. This is the payables transaction entry screen. Into this screen, I would enter information about an invoice, payables invoice, that I'm going to turn around and then pay a vendor at some time. But what we're going to do here is we're going to enter the invoice, and I've started some of it. I've picked a vendor, and now I'm just going to enter an amount. And then what we're going to do is go to the distributions tab down here, and we'll select the accounts that we're going to charge this to. Now, my default is this account. This is not the account that I want. What I really want is to look up the consulting account for this particular project that I have in mind. So I'll do that. And here's the account right here. This is the consulting for this particular project. I can expand that, and I can see I've got the consulting account in there. So that's all I really need to do. I can specify that account, and then I'll just post that in a normal way. In this case, I'm going to post it online real time here. I'll just hit post. And what's going to do, it's going to update payables. It'll also update the general ledger for that particular project. Let's take a look at some of the reporting options for this information. The first thing I want to do is show you the detailed trial balance. This is going to show individual transactions by project. So I've got this project here. Let's take a look at it. It's going to move it over here and then print it out. This report shows me by account number up here and by project. In this case, I've got a project 20, and I also down here have project 21. This is showing me individual transactions that were assigned to this account and for this project. And you can see I also get information about the vendor in this case here that automatically goes through to the general ledger. So this is a handy report. It helps you reconcile those projects and also get additional detailed information on that. Another reporting tool that you can use to report on biotech device projects is Management Reporter. Now, Management Reporter will take a look at the information from the general ledger, both the actual and the budget, and it'll create a number of different reports. It's really made up of 3 components: the row format, the column layout, and also the reporting tree. So in this case, I've got a pretty standard row format, but let's take a look at the column. The column layout tells me what period of time I'm going to be pulling the information from. And here you see I've got information from 2014, 2015, 2016, and on. And I'm pulling actual information here. And I'm also pulling a budget here. I can keep unlimited budgets in Dynamics GP. I can keep multi-year budgets. So this is perfect for tracking long-term projects. So let's take a look at what this report looks like. I'm going to generate it now by clicking on Generate. I have in my system 2 different projects that I'm reporting on. You can see those 2 here, 20 and 21. And I'm just going to select them all and then run the reports. So this is one of the output options here. I can take a look at this in a browser. Here you can see I've got the report. It looks pretty nice. I've got the various categories I've been charging expenses to and the multiple years. You can also see I've got the budgets in there, and it's showing the variances as well. I can scroll over to the right here. So I actually have 4 years of project activity in this one report. You can see that here. So there's a number of things I can do with this report. I can download it into Excel if I want to see it in Excel. This is a good way to look at all the information in your particular project. Here you can see the same report that we were looking at earlier is now in this Excel spreadsheet here. I've got the first level summary report right here. I can also drill down and see individual projects. Here is one of the projects. I can look at the detail here, and you can see it's broken down. It shows all the accounts that were used in preparing this particular report. Another good way to review this report is to use the Management Reporter report viewer. And here we are, we're logged into that report viewer, and I can just click on this report. This has already been run, and here are the results in the viewer. So this gives me a little more functionality. Here I can drill down and see information behind these numbers. So for example, in lab supplies, I can click on that. I can drill down and see the individual projects from which these numbers came. I can pick one project and drill down further and see the individual counts that roll up. And if I want to, I can select a particular item, and I can drill down into Dynamics to see that item in Dynamics. And here's the inquiry screen in Dynamics for that particular account and project. You can see all the different entries during this particular year. I can pick different years if I want to, but I can also drill down further. I can select a line item. I can drill down into the journal entry. I can drill down and see the payables transaction that rolled up to the general ledger and to my particular project. So there are a number of ways to report on projects in Dynamics GP. Doing so in the general ledger is probably the easiest. It's probably the easiest way to get started, and it gives you a lot of flexibility in the reporting as well.